Here at New Douglas Park for today's game, Accies versus Albion Rovers, and a game simply put is a must win for Hamilton. We can only finish second now. We have to cross our fingers other results go our way. Team shoots it out and it's a very young lineup for Hamilton. People like Chrissy McGinn, Marley Redfern and Darryl Meeko all start for Accies. Kieran McDonald has an injury, which is why he's not in the squad. Chrissy McGinn replaces him. I'm being told that Darryl Meeko replaces Lewis Spence in the middle, and of course Marley Redfern is one of our three options up front. Let's just hope Hamilton pull off a win. Albion Rovers, no disrespect to them, we should be beating them comfortably even with that side. Let's just hope we can score, because that's been our biggest problem, is not having strikers. We don't have any starting as far as I can see. David Moyo and Callum Smith are both on the bench, so options to come off if needed. Let's just hope we do it. Accies.
Here we are, we're back at New Douglas Park for the final group game of the Scottish League Cup. It's Hamilton Accies against Albion Rovers. A couple of changes for the Accies starting 11 today. We have Chrissy McGinn, Darryl Meeko and Marley Redfern starting. Now, people might think that it's a bit of a risk playing such young kids in a game that we really need to win. Personally, looking at the players that are in the team and those that are on the bench, I think this is Rice trying to manage the game a bit better than what we did against Ayr United on Tuesday, because it was evident in the second half that we had no options to bring anyone on off the bench that could be effective, whereas we have Callum Smith, Sean Warren and David Moyo on the bench this afternoon, so it gives us a little bit more to maybe choose from, and then obviously gives these guys valuable minutes as well. We really need a win. I would love to see us win this with absolutely no nonsense, 2-3-0. Personally, I don't think it'll go that way. I'll take a 1-0.
Albion Rovers and the playing of Lanarkshire, Hamilton Accies!
25 minutes gone, it's Hamilton 0, Albion Rovers 0. No doubt Hamilton have been the better side, had the better chances, just not been able to score, as was the case against Ayr as well. I think that front three of Monroe playing through the middle, Lewis Smith out right and Marley Redfern out left is working well. You have to remember the opposition they're playing against though. You know, they look good against a League 2 side that we really should be beating. Darryl Meeko in the middle, not really getting a sniff of the ball. Whenever he does, he looks nervous, and that's the case with Chrissy McGinn as well, who's playing left back. I think it's his first game in however many months he's been out injured, probably the first game in front of a crowd for a long time. He looks nervous, he's making silly mistakes. We just need to keep composed and the chances will keep coming, and we just need to be composed enough to take them when they do come. Lewis Smith just had a chance literally just before we started filming here. Just chased the ball, managed to get a shot off. It was the same with Redfern and Hughes both having attempts, but as I said, we just need to be composed enough to take these chances when they come. Well, there it is. Albion Rovers 1, Accies 0. Just ridiculous, man, honestly. I mean, we've had plenty of chances, not able to take them.
Score for Albion Rovers, number 8, David Wilson.
It's a corner for Albion Rovers, they play it short. The first shot's blocked, second shot, it's, I don't even know what to describe it as. He's just had a swing at it and it's looked over Joe Hilton into the corner. Albion Rovers are ahead. This is embarrassing, man. It really, really is. Just like that, 2-0 Albion Rovers. Great free kick from Charlie Riley. Ex-Hamilton player. You can hear the boos. It's just embarrassing now. Do you know what I mean? I was just saying to David there, if we get one, more would come. It's been a case of they've got their first and their second ones came straight after. I mean, fucking hell. You can hear the boos. It's embarrassing at this stage, to be honest with you. 2-0 down. Terrible.
Half time here, Albion Rovers are 2-0 up against a championship side. On paper, absolutely awful. Second best, all over the park. There's times where we're moving the ball well with the forward three, with Redfern, Monroe and Lewis Smith, but the two kids in here look way at their depth. Not their fault at all, but totally caught out. Former Ackie, Charlie Riley, with an absolutely brilliant free kick to make it 2-0, not long after taking the lead. It really is concerning with the league starting next week. We need to get some signings in. Yeah, let's hope we can savour something in this second half.
water break midway through the second half. Much the same, Accies. And we're in this kind of weird situation now where we're just fucking pushing for an equaliser and we just can't get it. One or two chances since then, but Albion Rovers kind of standing strong and us not able to actually finish it again. Albion Rovers 2, Accies 2, Callum Smith after going through 1-on-1 and missing it. A ball goes across the box and Marley Redfern. Callum Smith gets the goal. Come on! I mean, we should never have been in that position anyway, let's not forget that, but let's try and get a third, let's try and get a winner. I think qualification's gone anyway, but let's just try and get a winner here now. We've got the momentum. Come on, Hamilton! 90 minutes have finished, going to a penalty shootout now. Finished 2 each. I mean, Brian Rice brings on David Moyo, Callum Smith, and McGowan trying to get the goals. Didn't come. Without the cup, it's now a pointless penalty shootout to get a pointless, or a useless point, I should say, at the end of the game. You can hear the fans' thoughts. Today was brutal, man. Embarrassing. Whether we get the point doesn't really matter. I mean, just embarrassing. That's the biggest thing. And I don't mean any disrespect to Albion Rovers, but it's a team that we really should be beating, part-time footballers, and they've held us. Fans making their feelings known, and rightly so. Don't really know what else to say.
What's the vibe in the dressing room with the boys just now? Obviously, like you said, we got the penalty win, but if we're being honest, that's a team that we feel we should be beating comfortably as a fan's perspective. What's the vibe after that?
Obviously, we're not happy. I know we've won the game of penalties, but as I've said, it's not good enough. We need to win the games comfortably in my eyes. The League 2 side and the Championship, so we definitely should be winning that game. But there is positives to take. We've done very well second half, I would say. Scored 2 good goals, and then basically just next week now.
Obviously, speaking from a fan's perspective, obviously we understand these cup games are essentially pre-season for us. Obviously it's hard for fans not to get emotional when it comes to the results. What kind of assurances can you give going into the league season that we are prepared, we have got a squad capable of competing at this level?
Well, we have got a squad of it. We have got a squad capable of competing at this level if we can get them on the pitch. You know, nobody can foresee injuries happening. You know, nobody can predict COVID. Nobody can predict somebody phoning in the morning the game's sick. But the injury situations would be really concerning. You know, because when we come back to the end of last season into this pre-season, we were expecting 3 or 4 of the lads that hadn't played to be ready to go, and they weren't ready to go.
Is there a pattern there, or is it just bad luck?
We've looked at everything. We've looked at absolutely everything. And it's, I don't think there's a pattern there. I think it's just luck. I don't like to use the word luck. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely not a pattern because they're all different injuries. It's not as if we can say we've got 4 ankles or 3. It's all different injuries. You know, so.
And last thing for us, obviously it's easy for the fans to cry out for signings, but we know it's not as easy as that for a team like Hamilton to bring Pletney in. What kind of positions are we looking to strengthen in?
I'm looking to strengthen midfield and I'm looking to strengthen up front. Up front first. I'm looking to get 2 strikers in at least 2 strikers in. You know, we've said this for the last month. We've tried to get 2 or 3 in and we've decided to go elsewhere. Fair play, and we've got to look after ourselves financially. So we're working really good. It's easy for me to stand here and say that, right? I can assure you that. No, it's non-stop. It's non-stop trying to get players in. Strike position, definitely, 100%.
Welcome back to the OnlyAccies channel. It's finished here. Hamilton 2, Albion Rovers 2. Accies get the extra point after penalties. Here with Hamilton fan Chris. Chris, what did you make of the game today?
It was a frustrating game. First half was terrible. In that first half we had our best chance from a free kick and we were losing 2-0 was a bit of a shock. But on to the second half, I knew Brian Rice had to make a change, and when Callum Smith came on, it was a different game. I knew we were going to win in penalties because we had a decent goalkeeper, and that's a goalkeeper that you need. But it was quite a frustrating penalty shootout because it took forever, because the other team kept scoring just like we did. We were desperate to end it, and thankfully we won the penalty shootout.
And if you had to pick a man of the match, would it be Callum Smith you mentioned that made a difference when he came on?
Yes, he would be the man of the match because I knew when he came on, different game, and it worked out. It was a different game right away.
You still think that Hamilton need to sign some players though? There's a lot of shouts from the fans in the ground today about how we still need to bring players in. Do you share that, or do you think we've got a squad good enough to compete?
I think we've got a good squad, but we need more players in. Maybe a more experienced player. Somebody that knows the championship well and knows how to take them back to promotion, back to the top league.
And are you confident going into the championship? We've got Wraith Rovers, a league campaign starting next week. Are you confident ahead of the next season?
Yeah, very confident, but it's not going to be an easy task because Wraith Rovers are a very good side, so anything could possibly happen. Joined also by Ross Ashton, because probably every fan in the stadium could hear you, a very, very vocal fan, but you made good points. A very frustrating game, not good enough. It's going to be the title of this video, and that's what it is. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I thought it was totally embarrassing, to be perfectly honest with you. I think my most word shouted was embarrassing, and that was directed towards Brian Rice. To be playing Albion Rovers in a cup match that we really needed to win by a few goals, I think it's embarrassing from the start, to be honest with you. When I seen the team sheet, alright, I'm okay for academy players playing in the team, I'm all for that. Lewis Smith, Brian Easton's an academy player, I love that within the team and the club. But when you're trying to win a game and you've got 9 players out of 11 who are young boys, 17, and you're trying to win a game, it's just not acceptable. I understand, obviously, they're trying to get the team through and obviously trying to get a good championship season this season, but I think with the hashtag whatever it takes to put a team out like that when you need to win this cup game by a couple of goals, it's just totally embarrassing. I paid money to be here, and I've taken a day off from my work to be here and come and see the Accies. This is the first time I've been back in the stadium, and to leave it like that is so bad. I think Brian Rice, to be honest, should be embarrassed. Yeah,
and listen, I agree with you. I think it is embarrassing. It's one of those things where, as you said, you like to see academy players coming through and doing well, but in must-win games, I mean, you're bringing on people like, and no disrespect to him, but McGowan, who's 16, 17, ahead of somebody like David Moyle, who granted isn't great, but much more experienced within the team. We need players in. We need signings. We said before in the channel, strikers in midfield. I'm wondering what you think of that. What players do we need to bring in, what positions? Because I'm assuming there's a lot of them.
Yeah, to be honest, I agree with you. I mean, in terms of talking about David Moyle, when you're kind of needing a goal and you've got David Moyle coming on to get a goal, I've got no words for that, to be perfectly honest with you. A striker is needed to actually score goals. You can't win games without scoring goals. I honestly don't know if Brian Rice realises that, bringing David Moyle on, and then you've got a player like Ronan Hughes in the middle. I've said to my pal I was sitting next to, he's actually acting as a playmaker. Ronan Hughes, I just couldn't understand that at all, to be honest. So I think a lot of changes needed bringing in. To be honest with you, in terms of the kind of the money situation and all that, I don't know if that's Brian Rice's fault. Obviously, I'm not in the club, so I don't know. So it is some maybe a bit harsh in terms of he's not had a lot of players to work with. But I think anyone that has a footballing brain realises that we need a lot of players pretty quickly.
And looking ahead to the championship, are you confident? I don't want to sound like Brian Rice when I say this, but we've got a lot of players to come back from injury, etc. But at the moment, this is the squad we're taking into the league. How are you feeling going in against Wraith Rovers, who last season very nearly got promoted?
Yeah, absolutely not confident at all, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought after the performance we played against Falkirk and kind of coming back, it's not something we kind of seen last season. I thought, maybe we might do well, and then obviously getting beat last week and then kind of drawing basically a defeat this week. I'm not confident at all, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of good teams in the championship that you can't be kind of misplacing of what's going to happen in that league. We've got a lot of fans talking about, we'll get promoted, we've got kind of third place and all that. To be honest with you, if I was to kind of say where we would end the season just now, 7th. I would expect that, because if you for example, if you play the team you play today, you're not going to beat Wraith Rovers. You're not going to beat a team like that actually want to better themselves as a club altogether.